Good evening and welcome to the Sports Locker. On tonight's episode, we're talking basketball after a historic achievement from the association. So the men's national side wins their first bronze medal in FIBA's European Championship for small countries. What an accomplishment it was. What a week of basketball at the Centenary Sports Hall. And to help me talk about the event itself are players Dylan Gomez, Javi Felice, Jamie McGrail and Michael Rodriguez. Of course, Vice President Ian Felice is also joining us, as the President, John Gonzalez, is unfortunately away from Gibraltar. Ian, first of all, what a moment it was for Gibraltar basketball. I mean, can you sum up that week and that achievement in just a few words?
Just a few words. Well, wow, I guess is the word. What an achievement indeed. It was the 40th anniversary of GABA's accession to FIBA. So, what a momentous week in which to do that, almost to the day of the anniversary. As you said, it's also our first medal in senior men's competition. And what better way to break that duck than at home? Yeah. It's also the end of year one of GABA's new development plan, instigated by Chief Development Officer Luis Romero. So to crown it with a medal at the end of year one of that plan shows that we're heading the right way. What an exciting week it was.
There's lots to talk about. You talk about youth there. We've got young players here. We've got slightly older players here. Dylan, let's start with you because you've been to a few of these.
Correct.
I mean, for yourself, to be part of a historic team like this that finally manages to get it over the line, what was that like?
I mean, it was a great send-off, to be honest. I've managed to play, as you say, many, many years. I think my first tournament was Rhodes 2007, so I've been around. And obviously, being able to compete with these guys has been a great achievement for me to step away and leaving basketball in good hands. At least it's nice to see.
How do you for yourself? I mean, just 17 years old, I believe the youngest player in the team. When you first get called up for national side, I mean, what's your reaction?
Just like, wow. I mean, I had a good season and I didn't expect it really because there were so many other older players. I don't know. So, yeah.
You had a good season playing in the Cadiz League, which was GABA's official return to it. How much did that experience kind of help shape you in preparation for this tournament?
I mean, yeah, so I had a big role in that team. So playing games every weekend, playing at high level, high physicality, it's helped me play up.
Jamie, for yourself, I mean, you're one of the fan favourites throughout the tournament. Made it into the All-Star 5 team as well, and very worthy so. Coming into the competition, you play your trade out in the USA. I mean, is that added pressure for yourself when you're coming from playing at a top level into the Gibraltar side, hoping to make history?
Yeah, it is a little bit of pressure, but it's pressure that you appreciate because it shows how hard you've worked and how far you've come. So at the beginning of my career, I never thought that would be a pressure that was on my shoulder. So happy that I got to that stage and that we could have something physical that we could take with us for one tournament. I think, yeah, happy with that.
Michael, for yourself, I mean, talk us through the competition because we had a good start against San Marino. We knew the other games were going to be difficult. Was it better to start off with a win like that and then go on to Andorra and Malta? Or would you have rather it be a bit different in the group stage?
No, I think everything worked out the way it should have worked out. And I think that first win gave us the momentum to compete against Malta, who had a great team. And then I think we underestimated Andorra. Even though they didn't have the star players they have every year, they still had a great team. But yeah, I think that first win really gave us the boost that we needed to keep going through the tournament.
Watching the games from the sideline, I mean, in particular, the Andorra side was good, but there was spells that Gibraltar showed they could compete against them. Happy with the bronze medal, but at times do you feel like perhaps silver could have been achieved?
Hard to say. I mean, I think certainly Malta were the stronger side the week, and I think they showed that consistently throughout. Andorra's always a very plucky, is always a very fun side to watch play. They're an aggressive side. They're fast. We had some good spells against them, but yeah, I think we felt that having beaten San Marino in the first day of the tournament, despite the fact that they brought two new players who played in the bronze medal game, who hadn't played us in the opening match. I think these guys showed that how resilient and how they were able to overcome strengthening of the San Marino squad to beat them again. Yeah, I think it's national team coach Stuart Felice, my brother, for the avoidance of doubt.
And your son Javi here as well.
Yeah,
Let's get it all out there now.
All the family
It's a family affair.
I think he'd never beaten San Marino before as a coach, so I think to do it twice in the same week, I think was quite a triumph for him.
And for context, I think Andorra has the most small countries championships. I think they have 6, I believe it is. So I mean, it was never going to be easy. But again, we showed we could compete against them. Going back to what you were saying about San Marino, number 2 new players, we always knew it was going to be a different game in that 3rd and 4th place match. Tell us a bit about the mindset going into that, and how much do you think about the previous win, or you just completely forget about it and treat it as a completely different game?
I mean, to be honest, we had a game plan months before, and Stuart made a very good point of us following that, regardless of whatever or whoever we were facing. And of course, once we knew that it was achievable in the first game, we just went into the second game with the same game plan, stuck to our strengths, and tried to compete as much as we could, and gave it our best. So.
How important was the home support? And I'm going to ask you, Javi, because you had terrific home support from die-hard group of friends, I imagine, that were there. But how important in general was the atmosphere at the Tercentenary Sports Hall?
No, I mean, like, it was pretty much perfect, I guess. Like, all my friends up in the stands, like, cheering us on. Like, even in the last game, like, they'd get free throws and my friends would start screaming at them so that they'd force them to miss, and it pretty much helped us.
And it worked sometimes.
Yeah, it did. So, yeah, it helped a lot.
And after the fans are cheering on, a lot of them did make their way down to the courts. For you, what's it like? I mean, kids coming up to you, sign my T-shirt, take a picture. Talk us through that, because it's not something that maybe happens that often in Gibraltar sports. So what's that experience for you guys? I mean, Jamie had to sign a few T-shirts as well. So,
I mean, it's one of the coolest things ever, probably, as a basketball player. Like, you don't experience that outside of Gibraltar, or else I haven't. So, yeah, it's just pretty cool being someone's idol for the day, I guess. It's pretty cool.
But weird at first, but then after the first couple of games, then you kind of get used to it, and you know, at the end of the day, you're setting an example for these kids, and they look up to. So, being that role model is everything that you ask for, no, as a player in Gib.
This is the second time we host the games, well, the championships. How important is that in terms of how FIBA perceive Gibraltar and their ability to be able to host events like this?
I think it's an indication of the high regard that FIBA have for Gibraltar, but particularly for John Gonsalves. You know, the esteem with which he is held in FIBA Europe is something that unless you see it there, unless you see how it happens, you wouldn't understand. It's actually the 15th European tournament that we host, when you with women's and junior competitions as well. So it's definitely a key indicator that FIBA can rely on Gibraltar to put out a good tournament.
15 competitions held here. Dylan, you've played through a lot of them. Talking about this squad specifically, is this kind of like the resilience that has been built up over years of Gibraltar basketball to manage to get this finally through the line?
I think so. I mean, just 2 years ago, they were unfortunate to lose by 3 points. So I think everybody who had represented Gibraltar in the 2024 championships obviously came and said, right, this is a year we need to kind of, personal vendetta. So we had that already in us. Obviously, I didn't play 2024, but just seeing the guys and how much they wanted it, obviously it made me want to come in and compete and give my best for them as well. So, yeah, I mean, in general, I think we're all hard-nosed. We all know what we need to do when we needed to do it. And we all went into the game with a chip on our shoulder, knowing that we wanted to go out there to at least bring it home, specifically in Gibraltar. So.
In that game, I mean, you knew what you had to do. I suppose it was a slightly shaky start because San Marino took a lead fairly quickly, and then we quickly overturned it, and we kind of dominated for the first half. But in particular, in the third quarter, they kind of came out guns blazing, and all of a sudden they take the lead when they were quite a few points behind. How do you mentally react and switch on after that, Michael?
First of all, you got to stay calm in those situations. You got to be as calm as possible and just trust the game plan and trust the players around you and trust what the coach is telling you at the same time. So keeping that calmness and that steady head is is what got us through the line, I think, at the end of the day.
You sank an important free throw in the fourth quarter because I think those 20 seconds were the longest 20 seconds of my life. It felt like they went on forever. And I believe I asked you this after the match. I mean, whilst you're on the court and you keep on looking up and it feels like 5 minutes has happened in the court, but you look up and it's only 3 seconds reflected in the time. How does that make you feel?
I mean, I was so tired on the court that, like, when I got a timeout like that, I was thankful to, like, sit down and breathe it all in. But those moments are moments you can't replicate in practice either, so it's fresh for everyone. Even if you've like lived a similar scenario, fourth quarter basketball, like, each one is different. So I was just, like, super happy that we were there and in that position. Like, we were up with like 7 or 9 points with a minute and a half to go. So I really didn't think we could throw it away, but it was a great finish. Like, I wouldn't have wanted it to be any other way.
I think a moment that stuck with me was somewhere in the third and fourth quarter where Del Medo sank two 3-pointers back to back essentially, and they proved to be pretty crucial for the team, no?
Huge baskets, you know, from the other rookie of the team. It was also his first appearance in the senior team, and he had a great buzzer beater earlier on in the game, and then he just sank those 2 huge threes. It just shows how many contributions all of the players made, you know, throughout the week generally. But yeah,
absolutely. San Marino, the second time, was the best team basketball we had played the whole tournament. So I feel like when we watch back this tournament, because we always video scout from the previous one, when we look back and realize how much better we did as a team in the last game, we'll take that into the next tournament, hopefully.
Yeah, it was a strong San Marino. I think I've got a stat here that said Pietro Ugloli, I think, got 25 points in that match himself. I mean, how do you mark a player like that, and how much do you know because of some previous research about a player like that?
I mean, there's only so much you can do to stop a player of his caliber. I mean, just looking at his statistics, I think in game 1 he shot 5 from 11 3-pointers that I remember. That's like 56%. Not even the best NBA players do that in a standard game, or at least throughout their careers, maybe like 45. So just the fact that he was nailing those threes in our face, I mean, there's not much you can do. But then going into the second game, we had a bit of a game plan. We didn't want to give him those open shots, and the idea was to chase him off the 3-point line, make sure that he puts the ball on the floor. Once he's on the floor, I mean, you take your chances. So it's kind of like, you know, trying to get him to do something that he's not as comfortable with, and that's kind of what we tried to do throughout the second game in the bronze medal game.
I think it definitely worked. Had he sunk a few more 3-pointers, it would have been a completely different story.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it for part 1. Join us again in part 2. We'll continue the basketball conversation with plenty more. Welcome back to the Sports Talker. We're talking basketball after a historic achievement from the association, winning their first ever medal in FIBA's European Championship for small countries. Yeah, and I think what was really impressive for me was the mixture of young and experienced players and how everyone got on the court and got a fair share of minutes. Was that something that was kind of talked about beforehand, making sure everyone got to experience the experience?
We leave that up to the coaching staff. That's up to them. You know, the GABA executive committee doesn't interfere with coaches' selections, doesn't interfere with game plans or player rotations or anything like that. But I think it is a testament to the fact that there are sort of some veteran players and then some new players coming along. That there's a good pipeline of players coming along, and we think we'll be saying goodbye to Dylan and maybe to some others. Only think. You know, there's other people in the pipeline coming up. We had two rookies this time round, and we've got a strong under-18 team. We've got an under-16 team, both of which have potential national team players going forward. So yeah, they're a testament to the hard work that everyone does. You know, from the senior team all the way down to the baby basket. That's where it all starts. You know, so it's a project more than just sort of a couple of months of work there.
Dylan, I believe I spoke to John Gonzalez after the match and he said, no way you're retiring, at least not from the whole squad. I mean, he expects you to be kept on as a manager because he wants players like you have dedicated their whole life to definitely stick around in GABA and not just retire and leave everything behind.
I mean, it's too early to tell. I'm still taking in, what it is to step away from the sport for the second time. I think I did it for a while after the Island Games. But, I mean, I've always wanted to be involved. The question is how much time I can dedicate to the sport, having 2 kids and all that. So, and obviously I need to get my wife's permission. But more so, it's the fact that, it's giving back. I mean, everybody who's coached me growing up, I mean, Adam, the late, obviously Randy, have given a lot to what basketball is from their free time. And I think that's the biggest thing that I can give back, if anything, right? So maybe in the future we'll see if I've got that in me to coach. Let's see.
Tell us a bit about the atmosphere after the competition. You told me you were going to go out to celebrate. Jamie, how was the reaction with the team afterwards it all happened? Or how much can you give away from that night?
To start off, it was a Sunday night in Gib, so
yeah,
it wasn't the loudest night, but the tapas and the drinks after the tournament, like in our close group of people that really support us, is always cool. It's kind of a tradition every year to do it after a hard month and a half of preparation. I think we had a month and a half this year to just let loose once that week is done, especially.
You mentioned about the month and a half. I mean, Michael, how much preparation, how much dedication do you have to kind of put into that month and a half? I know you're saying it doesn't just come down to a couple of months beforehand, but that's really when it gets intense, isn't it?
Yeah, that's when everyone's got to stay locked in. Like I've always said it to the guys, the tournament doesn't start on the first tip-off. It starts like a month, a week, weeks before that. So the fact that everyone was able to get in and lock in and come together and decide this is the way we're going to go, and we had everyone on board, that was the most wholesome feeling for me, because not many teams get on board in the same direction, and here we had guys from 1 to 12 all in the same direction. So it was important that we had that preparation to get all the guys together and know each other's roles.
Tactically, how much do you have to soak in those 2 months? Especially perhaps for players that don't play in the Gibraltar League as often, like maybe yourself, Jamie. I mean, you come back in, and is it all a bit different to how it works in your club teams? Because you also play in Spain, I believe. So is it all a bit different when you come back to Gibraltar and get back with the lads?
Yeah, that's the biggest adjustment that everyone has to make. Obviously, everyone has their roles within their own team, but now it's what can you bring to the table? What can you bring to the team? And how does that influence winning? So I think everyone did that to the best of their ability, and we got the job done at the end of the day.
Jamie, All-Star 5, was that something that came to you as a surprise, or what was that reaction like when, I mean, I was there, you were quite surprised, you would be, as your name gets called out, but what's going through your mind?
Well, at the beginning, I say my first All-Star 5 was 2 years ago, and that one was an even bigger surprise because we had a lot of good players that year. So I kind of did anticipate a target on my back from the other teams, just seeing that. But I told these guys at the beginning that I didn't care about the individual accolade if we didn't win anything at the end. I definitely valued that bronze medal a lot higher than I did that All-Star 5. But it's always cool being up there because it's a testament to how far I've come. Like, most of these guys started with me as well, and I wasn't the great or the good player I am now. So I'm just happy that I got this far. And let's see how far I can get it to go.
Yeah, and can you vouch for that? Something that he's had to work at?
I mean,
Yeah?
I think definitely, the amount of work that Jamie and all of the players really put in, no? And everyone goes their particular ways, and everyone ends up having their respective careers. But you can't get to a tournament All-Star 5 if you haven't worked very hard, if you don't put the hours in. Jamie had a great week, had a great tournament, fully deserved that nomination, and well done to you.
What does this medal mean for Gibraltar basketball moving forward now, do you think? Do you think it's put us on the map in terms of at least small countries?
Yes, definitely. It does. I think from our perspective, it's the culmination of year one of our new development plan, and it's exciting because more should come from that. And obviously our junior teams are either out already or are going out now the rest of the summer. And we'll want to evaluate how that progress happens. But it spurs people on. There's a medal there. There's a bit of enthusiasm. There's a bit of buzz about everything. The kids in the stands were very excited about it, and that's what makes us hope. And what we work to is that there'll be a progression, and that those kids who are watching and shouting, Javi and the others, and asking for autographs and photos, that they will be the senior players of the future, and they'll be sitting here at some point in the future talking to you about the gold medal that they will have won by then, hopefully.
You mentioned that it's just 1 year into a new project. I mean, Michael, how much has it changed the pathway from juniors to a senior team to perhaps when you were a junior? Now you're a full-fledged senior player. How much has the pathway changed?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's changed quite a lot for the better, obviously. I mean, everyone's had a part to play in this process. But I think as the years go on, we learn back from our mistakes, and we're just constantly trying to improve, see what we can do better, and investing into the youth, where essentially that is where Gibraltar basketball will grow at the end of the day. So special thanks to Tim and to everyone who organised it, because they said that this is our short process and a long journey. So we'll get there. We'll get to the next step eventually.
A shout out to the organising committee led by Antoinette Sanderson. It's not easy to put a FIBA tournament together. The manual of instructions of how to do is this thick. And it covers all sorts of details. So there's sterling work from Antoinette and the members of her committee to even get this going. It's a significant logistical, financial commitment. So to see it being rewarded with success on the court, I think is a great result for GABA all round.
Jamie, for yourself, what's next? I know obviously you're going back to your last year of college, as they say in the States. What's next for you?
Graduate with a degree, my 4th year of college now in September, and then see what's out there from this point. I don't know which alley I'm going to take right now, but hopefully with the contacts I've made from this point on, I can try and make a living out there, hopefully.
What opportunities have you seen emerge from playing in the States? Can you tell us a little bit about how the experience has gone over the last 3 years?
Yeah, so America's super diverse once you get there. Like my first college in the first years, we had 5 international players and about 15 local and regional American players. So it was a good mix of people from different backgrounds, and just being on a daily basis contact with them, you begin to learn where they come from and who they know. And I feel like college is meant for that too, just getting out there, socializing and meeting new people. So getting contacts I would have never found anywhere else. So hopefully one of them leads me to somewhere good.
Well, best of luck for sure.
Thank you.
Happy for yourself. I imagine next time it comes around, you'll be 19 or so, and you got an eye on university, I imagine. I mean, how would you like your basketball career to progress in the next 2 years, and how much would basketball influence your university decision, maybe?
I mean, obviously, where I want to go to uni, they have to have a good basketball team or some sort. Yeah. So like after this year, I'll be senior and I'll be doing my levels, so I'll be taking a bit more chill, but still, when I go to uni, I'll be playing for sure.
Then we'll give a final word to you as the maybe retiring, maybe not retiring player. Tell us about your experience as a whole, and give us a bit of a scoop, will you? Will you not be retiring?
Basketball has been life. I mean, as these guys will probably experience, for me since Adam introduced me in school. So it's probably been a major part, maybe 20 plus years of me, as my identity in a way. So having to think that I need to find a new identity for myself or create a different one, obviously is something that kind of is quite difficult to consider. But at the same time, I think I'm ready for a new adventure, try new things. Who knows, maybe start playing volleyball, ping pong.
One of your family is a big volleyball family as well.
My brother has played volleyball. Obviously, my mum's, I can't play netball, there's no men's team, but my mum's been involved in sports. So, I mean, I don't know. I still don't know what to do. I mean, 2 years is a long time, and it's not. So I'll still be 38. We'll see how well I take care of myself. Hopefully, I don't get a dad bod or anything like that. And I can maybe at least help them out in training, you never know.
I'm sure the association will try very hard to keep you around in whatever shape or form around the squad. But guys, thank you very much for coming along. Really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
A historic achievement from Gibraltar basketball, a bronze medal, the first ever. A big thank you to all of my guests and a big thank you to tuning in on this Monday night. We'll see you again, same time next week.